Welcome everybody, this is gonna be game number 5 in this 7-game show match in between Infinity Legends, BacT+Project Belgium and Capoch versus DauT+Fire and Miguel. We will have the right side with Project Belgium as an Italian flank in purple. We will have BacT Portuguese flank in red, and the pocket is going to be Capoch playing as Vikings in yellow. That's a very standard lineup for Bog Islands, and it's a different lineup for our opposing team. We have Miguel as Italians in green, we have Vikings for fire in teal, and we have Koreans for DauT in blue. Korea is actually a very decent civilization pick over here, but I think the main difference is going to be between the fact that you have Italians pocket and Vikings flank here as opposed to Italians flank and Vikings pocket. I actually prefer the Vikings pocket more, and I also massively prefer the Portuguese over the Koreans. Why? Because the thing is that one of the best ways you can deal with longboats is with caravels. And I feel like I could justify picking Koreans for DauT if they had a civ that actually can deal with longboats themselves. But here, I feel like I am liking the civilizations of Capoch+BacT and Project Belgium better. It's going to be extremely important for BacT to be able to get to caravels, though. Like, if he gets to caravels, the longboats from Fire are going to melt, whereas Fire's team isn't really going to have an answer to anything, basically, that comes from our Viking pocket on the other side. Anyways, this is Bog Islands. In case you're unfamiliar with this map, you start with a little island, and you basically have this mangrove terrain which can be sailed by ships and can be walked by units at the same time. Nothing very special in regards to that. And we are gonna have a boar coming in here for DauT. Is it a quite early boar? It isn't really that early boar. Docks coming in early for fire. There is some fishing that you can do, but most of the deep fish is in the middle. And since you want your fishing ships to be efficient, you want to go to the middle to dock that. However, you can't actually dock without a land patch. So the reason why this dock is placed over here is because you can't really place it closer unless you find this little patch. This would be a huge thing for Fire if he placed his first dock here on this, because he could place it here and that would make the fishing a lot more efficient. Yeah, like see, this is exactly what Project Belgium is doing. This is a dream scenario for fishing in this case, and that is pretty much done by everybody apparently. Even this little edge over here is somewhere where you can place your dock set, so everybody is pretty much docking up over here. This is an even better dock from BacT. He's going to have a Voyager on shorefish. This is like the perfect thing over here. Yeah, true. In this case, seeing this on minimap is actually pretty tough for blue with Capture Age. This is something as I gave already as a feedback to them as well, that hey, this blue is just awful. That being said, there is going to be some harassment being done, and I don't like that Fire is using. I don't like this from Fire at all. He's using fishing ships for shorefish, and that is not really efficient. Like, fishing ships gathering from shorefish is much slower than gathering from deep fish. So you want to be using your fishing ships on deep fish, and this is actually an awful scenario. Like, you're taking one box turtle, which is slow, and then you are gonna sail all the way out here, and now he's making a second dock. Why do I have a feeling that Fire hasn't really played this map a lot of times? Because based on what he is doing, I have a feeling that he didn't really have the main concept on his mind that, hey, I need to place my dock to the middle, because he was the only player who hasn't placed the dock in the middle, and he was the only one that went for the little pond fish. Can you dock on the shallows? Your dock has to touch a land patch, something that is this brownish thing, basically. So that's basically the criteria. It has to touch the edge of it. This is why you see players placing their docks over here. There is one tile of land that you can place it on. Same thing over here. You see this little brownness? That's the one tile of land that you're placing it on. Anyways, dock is up now for fire, but this is still a pretty inefficient place. This would have been much better, although it's closer to the opponent, so that makes it a little bit more dangerous. But still, Fire's docks weren't really amazing. We're gonna have DauT coming to feudal first, and he's gonna do some voling over here. This is actually pretty important, being able to secure your wood line. I like DauT's voles over here quite a lot, and this lumberjacking operation over here is also beautiful. The second lumber camp is super nice for DauT. What else do we have? We already have quite a lot of fishing ships here from Capoch, who is... let's look at the resources. This is not going to be a fast castle for Capoch, so we're probably going to see galleys. Indeed, that is the case. We're also going to see BacT playing with galleys himself. And Miguel, is this a fast castle from him? Yes, it is. So Miguel is the one that actually goes for the riskier play of going for a fast castle. It could work out, but it requires Fire to be able to protect the rest of the ships, and considering that Fire only has 2 docks as opposed to already almost 3 docks from Capoch and 3 docks already from BacT, I have a feeling that they could be losing fishing geek over here. DauT is also in with his galleys. And look at that. BacT is just focusing on killing fishing ships. He's not actually going for the opponent's army. He's trying to pick off some fishing ships. Nice defense from Miguel saving those. And as I said, Miguel is going Market Blacksmith into Castle Age and potentially Fire ships. If you're doing for a fast castle, then you're probably going Fire ships in this case and not War Galleys. Because War Galleys need a lot more text to be efficient, whereas Fire ships can be extremely strong right from the beginning. So Fire ships make more sense over here. And it looks like, as I said, this play could be punished by the Infinity Legends. They are moving in with their ships, and they have already destroyed all the food eco from Miguel. So if you look at the resource or the villager counts, it's a 10 villagers lead already for Project Belgium's team, which is huge. So the real question is, can Miguel actually use the fire ships to take revenge for all those lost eco? He could be able to do that. DauT's got quite a lot of galleys on the field, which is going to help immensely, but they are losing the fishing eco already, and that's a 14 villagers lead for the Infinity Legends. They may actually grab their first win over here. I don't want to speak too soon, but this is looking pretty nice. We got Fallen Mage drive-by resubbing. Thank you so much. Be careful resubbing while driving. Thank you so much for your support. Welcome back. Now the thing is that Fire actually made a huge mistake over here. There is a dead body, so it obviously seems like he didn't wall his wood line off, and that means that these galleys are actually doing an insanely good job at just picking off villagers on the wood line. The eco lead for Project Belgium's team is just up in the skies, and remember that this is a play all 7 show match. Every game is $50, so if they can win 3 games after this, or well, not 3 games after this, but 3 games including this one, then they will still get a reasonable share of the prize money. So there is still motivation for these players to play over here, and I think that this is the first game where I think that BacT's team is having a quite dominant position. That being said, Miguel's fire ships could be extremely devastating, but Capoch himself is not far away from going up to Castle Age. That's the thing. It's Vikings eco, man. Look at that. 600 food, almost 200 gold. Vikings eco should propel him to Castle Age pretty soon as well. There's the War Galley upgrade, and I love this move from Fire. Fire has been extremely good with Galley Micro back in the days, and he was using his galleys to block the escape path for BacT's galleys. BacT's galleys are getting slaughtered, and as much as there is an eco lead for Project Belgium's team, now there is an increasing amount of fire ships on the field, something that they will have to deal with, but BacT is also going to Castle. We'll have 2 Castle Age players pretty soon for the Infinity Legends team, and a couple of demos could be helpful dealing with the galleys. The problematic thing is that, or the fire galleys, the problematic thing is that there is galley support, so it's unlikely that they would connect unless there is a mistake from Miguel here in this one, they will have to save this fleet. If they lose their galleys here, it might be game over because they will get overrun pretty badly. So let's see if there is any demo inside. Demos are being queued up. Imagine if there was a demo inside here. This is a very risky move from Miguel and DauT. Because if there was a demo here, that could have been an enormous hit. Anyways, we got BacT up to Castle Age. He's trying to save up his ships inside his docks so that he's able to get the upgrades before he actually does an engagement. We got some galley micro over here as well. Project Belgium versus Fire, the upgrades are identical, but it is Fire's base that's being pushed, and Fire doesn't have a good wood line because of these ships being over here. So that's an advantage for Project Belgium. Over there, nice fight here as well for Capoch, who's also going up to Castle Age. This is looking pretty good for Project Belgium's team. They might not get completely 7-0'd here, which I think is something that they're working towards. Like, if they could bring it back to 4-3, it would look much worse, or much less disastrous than a 6-1 or a 7-3 or a 7-0. So, at this point, it's all about, can BacT get his upgrades in? So let's see, what is he up to? He's getting galleys, war galley upgrade just coming in for him, but there is no Botkin arrow. Something worth pointing out, there is indeed a massive villager difference in this one, and I think that, like, Capoch needs to save this army. That's the thing. He needs to save that army, focus down the weak fire ships, and I think that's gonna be able to be done. War galleys are now in, so they should be relatively reasonable against the fire ships. Fire ships trying to get a good sandwich here, but these choke points that are created by all these forests are very helpful for the war galleys, and it looks like the demo is going to connect. Nice little engagement over there. Many of those fire ships are weak, and Capoch is almost up as well, but he is just losing his entire fleet on the south, which is not so amazing, I would say. War Galley is doing a reasonable job over here. There is another demo coming from the other side. Many of these fire ships are super weak now, so I don't think that you need that demo anymore. Yeah, that was a little bit wasteful, but it's a cleanup. So Miguel's fire ships are down, and worth noting that DauT doesn't have a single ship right now. Big bleak fleet here for Fire as well. He had an extended feudal age, so that means that he isn't really close. In fact, Fire's eco is just an absolute mess. He's got 4 on food only. So 600 gold in the bank. He's not going to reach Castle Age anytime soon, and that's a disaster for him because Bagum is up. This is looking extremely good for Project Belgium's team. They will have 3 Castle Age players very soon, whereas Fire is not even remotely close to being able to go up, and his eco balance is kind of looking like a disaster. And with the Stone Walls up for Project Belgium, I think that all he needs to do is just wait until he gets the War Galley upgrade, and he can take this engagement. Demo, that's very inefficient over there, but the eco difference is huge in the favor of Project Belgium's team. 132 villagers to 100, and their Castle Age advantage is also enormous. So at this point, indeed, Project Belgium just needs to save this fleet, or they could also use this War Galley fleet to take this engagement here. Like, I could see Project Belgium telling Capoch that, hey, come here, deal with this engagement, and clean this up. Is this Bogans? Yes, that it is. And here it is, though, DauT appearing with the majestic turtle ships. Turtle ships poggers. Super mega poggers. That's quite a lot of ships to deal with, so this may be a retreat at the end of the day. You don't really want to lose all those galleys if you're Project Belgium, but they're getting sandwiched in here. And this is not looking great. This is not looking great anymore for Project Belgium and Capoch. Capoch is going to have to withdraw his entire fleet. There is reinforcements coming in. Project Belgium still needs some time until he gets up to Castle Age. So if Project Belgium gets into Castle Age and he's going to get War Galley, I think they will have the upper hand, because Fire is still in feudal, and I don't even see him going up in the foreseeable future, and longboats will actually be pretty reasonable against turtle ships. They will have mobility, they have a lot of firepower, so turtles are going down over here, and this is not looking great for DauT's team here, especially now that those ships could be intercepted over there. In fact, they will be sandwiched by a bunch of longboats. Fire could lose his entire fleet before he can upgrade them, and That would be a huge disaster. He's got some more back at home, but this is 13 galleys that could down to the bottom of the pond. Many of them are weak, and indeed, it looks like Fire has given up on these boys over here, and they will just get killed, and they even tap out. Was this a drop? Or what was the plan? Did Miguel just drop? Yeah, Miguel apparently dropped. So let's see if they actually are restoring. But I don't think they are. I don't think they are restoring. This is a new lobby. So it's a GG. It's a GG. Project Belgium's team wins the game. Over here, I think they may have looked at the score and said, okay, we're dead. So, and honestly, that's true. Like, Turtles aren't really doing much over here. And if you look at the minute numbers, it's 52 to 23. Eco much, much better as well. So, like, Fire wasn't close to clicking up to Castle Age. Actually, he was relatively close, but still, it's 3 Castle Age players against 2. Fire just lost the majority of his fleet. So it's an understandable GG here. Project Belgium's team is taking their first win of the day on Pog Islands. All right. So with that, we will have one score over here for BacT+'s team. And, well, we have 2 more games to go. So let's get going with those.